As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality, that's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
He manages to get it right to Jacob Minter. Good job with the shot, and the Slough Jets have taken the lead on the power play. With 23 forward the shot cross goal. No need for the save from Lorde. And Campbell finds himself in, and it's 3-1 to the Chelsea Chieftains.
Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK Ice Hockey Podcast. We are in partnership with the Hockey Art Co, hockey clothing for hockey people, worn by the best and hated by the rest. Listeners to Zero Pucks Given can get a 10% discount off of everything site-wide at hockeyartclothing.co.uk. You just need to use the code ZP10. We're also in partnership with Bob. Welcome to Bob is the reusable man's shower soap with little bristles all built in. We're currently awaiting our discount code and a further little hookups with them guys, but once we have it, we'll get it all out to you. We are, of course, the UK's #1 ice hockey podcast, and we also received the Bronze Award in the Sports Podcast Awards for 2025. Maybe we'll get the gold this year, who knows. Running through the Britain division then, we're going in alphabetical order, so we're very close towards the end now, and we're going to touch on last year's triple champions, I believe they ended up as, the Slough Jets. And talking to us about the Slough Jets is a man that anyone who's been to the Hang Up will, I'm sure, remember. Former DJ Alistair Gammond. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very, very well indeed. Zero Pucks Given listeners may also recognise you because you recorded a verse of the poem after the tragic death of Adam Johnson.
In this very spot.
Hey, yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure everyone does know who you are, but you used to be the DJ for Slough Jets, and you kind of finished doing that. The last time you did that for hockey was at the Great Southern Finals at Ali Pali, which didn't turn out brilliantly for the Jets. It turned out for me up in the commentary gantry, but
no, it was a great experience though. Long, we all know that it's an incredibly long weekend. I still don't think I'm fully recovered from Sheffield, to be honest.
I think I am. I think the Saturday night was a late night, and because I'd kind of finished all of my pre-match chats and everything, by the time that game finished, I was a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have been on the ice in just normal footwear after the end of it, but I was very, very honoured to be on the ice with the Jets and bearing in mind the live stream had stopped at that point because the day had run so late.
I've
late. Some really nice moments on the ice.
You didn't stack it though, so that's...
I did at one point moonwalk and did it really well because I
missed that.
I was a little bit loose, a little bit fluid, and I did it really well, and no one caught it on camera. And And then they told me to do it the following night on the Sunday after the Slough Billingham game, but I was sober because I was driving home, and it wasn't quite as good.
It's not as authentic.
No, the Saturday night I was very off the cuff, and it was it went rather well.
And why shouldn't you be?
Yeah, I thought once I'd finished all the interviews and chats that I needed to do, I just started drinking, and then every kind of group of fans I spoke to were like, "Let's get you a drink." I was like, "Yeah, go on then."
Oh, I wish I'd done more of that.
To be fair, it was a fantastic weekend. I'm kind of double gutted because it's back there again this year. It's still Showdown 2.0, so we're back to Sheffield. I kind of was hoping it was going to go north-south, and try and mix it up.
Would have been nice, wouldn't it?
But Sheffield's a great venue. It hosted it really well. I would think there's probably lessons they learned from that day that they will.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's kind of got everything you need there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, of course, a kind of a double-edged sword for you that weekend. It was an evening of intense triumph to an evening of utter heartbreak the following day.
Yeah, absolutely. But, hey, what can you do?
Well, for anyone who may not remember, it was only in April, but it does seem like a long time ago now. There was a 6-0 victory on a Saturday night for the Slough Jets over the Streatham Redhawks in the South playoff final, followed by a 4-3 overtime defeat to the Billingham Stars, that was an astonishing game.
Oh, it was fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, even coming up on the losing side, it's just what a spectacular performance by both sides. You know, that's what the advert for British hockey, especially at this level, but any level, should be. Yeah.
I think the video of the winning goal, I think is actually on my Instagram feed because I think that quite a few of us collaborated on the video of the winning goal. I think it's had over 20,000 views.
Yikes!
And it was just an astonishing weekend, and it was lovely to be a part of it. And the fans in the South, I know Wayne Box sent me a message afterwards to say thank you to the Chelmsford fans because they all got behind Slough.
They were incredible, and I said that. Doing Rebecca Ali Pally, I said that as well. They were. And going to shoot myself in the foot with Slough here, but they were the best fans by a very long way.
Well, I think there was a lot of people from England ice hockey looking at the playoffs for the Britain division and thinking, I really hope Chelmsford qualify. Because they just travel so well.
They do, yeah, absolutely. But, even when they're, down and out, they're still there. They've got the passion for the sport.
Yeah, well, I mean, we said with Kai when we spoke Chelmsford Chieftains, and we also said before that with David from Cardiff Fire talking about the atmosphere, which of course you'll be incredibly familiar with, that it's your job to kind of build the atmosphere before the game starts, the right song choice, the use of the lights and whatnot, and that obviously Chelmsford do that quite well, but Streatham don't have the lights or the sound system to really do that well.
Yeah, they need to get that set, especially for where they are, central London. They've got to get that.
Because Ben Painter had said to me about the atmosphere for the playoffs semi-final second leg, where they was hoping there was not going to be a repeat of history. They were leading, I think, 7-1 from the first leg, but over 300 Chelmsford fans travelled to South London on Sunday night, 7-1 down, and create.
Doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday, does it?
And atmosphere is the thing that is not only keeping people in hockey, but it's dragging people to hockey. They're hearing a little whisper about this great night out and this atmosphere and this fast game and the fighting, and they're coming and they're getting hooked, and the game is growing exponentially from this point.
100%, and we just got to keep on pushing it, and that applies across the country.
And the game is growing in Slough because you also have an NIHL 2 team now.
Yeah, exciting times. Some familiar faces back as well, which is a nice bonus.
Yeah, and on a little side note, that is now a Slough rink. There is no bees there this year.
It is, yeah. I mean, people know my thoughts about the bees in the past. I never want to see a club go dormant. Of course I don't. But honestly, yeah, it's great having 2 teams back in Slough.
Yeah, and obviously, with keeping with the airplane theme as well, with because it's the hangar. If no one's been there, the building looks like a hangar. It's, a big kind of half a bean can type thing. On a slightly little small road down the side, just off of the high road that runs through Slough. So everyone knows that parking's a bit funny when you get down there. But it's an arena that I love. I made it there last year for the Streatham game. I was treated absolutely wonderfully down there. The atmosphere's terrific. They pack it out. I think that night was the largest attendance of the season so far for any hockey in that arena.
Would not surprise me at all.
Not just Slough. So, obviously we do go into what we just said a minute ago. We hope that the Bees do return at some point. But
of course, yeah.
As to where that return, we're unsure.
Yeah, where, when, what iteration, we don't want to see clubs going dormant.
But, talking roster-wise now, there is going to be a B in the Slough.
There is.
In the Slough building this year, because Marcus Mitchell is the only, looking down the roster, the only new face.
Yeah, so far at least. I don't know if they've got any more tricks up their sleeves, but it's a pretty stacked roster already, so there ain't going to be much room to get people in.
There's already 24 announced, everyone returning from last season. Aside, of course, from Nate Gregory, who has retired for British hockey and has moved over to Calgary in Canada, where I believe he lives a road or two away from Jordan Lauday.
Yeah, I believe, wasn't that the plan, that they were essentially moving to get, not literally together, but moving at the same time?
Yeah. So, Canada's gained 2 incredibly good British goalies there. But I say working and building from the back and using the Spitfires as well. Obviously, the likes of Jude Affleck will probably get some time with the Spitfires.
100%.
I think Harvey Harmon's also going to get some Spitfire time as well, which is, as all of the players know, as much ice time as possible for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Ice time is key for any of those players that are just on the cusp of, somewhere between Division 1 and Division 2. Just get your feet and your skates on the ice and just give it everything you've got, and, they'll reap the rewards.
Mm. So, looking at what happened last year, it was an incredible season. The last 3 weeks were just pure drama. And you come away with the league title, also come away with the South 1 playoff title, and then you also won the National League title on National Playoff Final weekend at Coventry. Obviously just missing out on that National Playoff title with the overtime loss, because I think Billingham actually took a clean sweep up north as well.
Yeah, they did.
But and then you lost out in the Cup. I think Cup semi-final you went out, didn't you?
Cup semi-final, was that?
It was the Solent.
It was Solent, yeah. It was Solent.
The only person that called it.
Yeah. And, fair play to them. They showed up.
Yeah. I also did call, which there wasn't as much evidence of it as I hoped, because me and Nicky Watt had jumped on 4,000 on a live, I think, before the season ended. And it was after Streatham had taken that victory against Slough, and then it was kind of like it was back in Stratham's hands, and then
they went to Invicta and got beat. I actually thought it was over at that point. I did. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see I thought it was over.
Yeah, it actually ended up that mine and Nicky's conversation wasn't actually live. It was sort of pre-chat before we actually went live, where I said to him, "I think there's one more twist."
Yeah, and we got it.
The few people that had been messaging me about it, and I said to them all via message, I think there's one more twist. I didn't see that one coming. I thought the final twist would be Solent. I thought Solent might nick a win from Streatham on the final day. But to get that the way it was, and then we broke a massive sort of hoodoo that we'd had on the podcast, and we got coach's thoughts from Smits. And Smits came on, and we had a 5-minute conversation over the phone after winning the league, because it was a tight old game against Cardiff, 2-0 victory. That
it's what it needed to be at the end. I think a lot of us knew there on the night, all we needed was to win. It didn't have to be pretty. It didn't have to be clever. It just needed to be that we came out that night with a W, and that's all that mattered. And,
I'd said to Smits as well that, was this actually ahead of schedule? Because the way the roster had been built, with a lot of the youth coming through, a lot of these guys have been playing together for years now, coming through the youth setup at Slough and then into the first team. And he said, no, actually, this is exactly what we were planning.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I know a lot of fans who would have actually expected it sooner. Honest. I think it came at the right time. I think all players had enough development by that point to know what was needed from them and, what was expected. And ultimately they delivered. Mm.
And although I know Smits is not a fan of singling out players, he's very much the team rhetoric. But looking at how well Slough did the season before that, but they just kind of fell incredibly close in the cup final against Streatham the previous year. I think that game only ended up being decided by one goal.
Yeah.
Across 2 legs, which is incredible for ice hockey. But I was pointing out to him the additions of Neil Lydiard, Ben Ely Newman, Brandon Miles, Alex Cole. That was the experience that young
100%. Yeah. Yeah, you just needed those 3 or 4, not necessarily all at the same time, but you just needed to pick and choose them when they were needed. And yeah, I can speak incredibly highly of all of those men that came in. No roasting of Neil Lydiard today, please.
I love Lids actually. I couldn't get a good moment with him in Sheffield. I just wanted 5 minutes of his time to talk about how he'd approached this season, and because he's kind of bounced around in the last couple of years. Is he going to retire? Is he not? Then he pops up in Chelmsford, and he pops up in Oxford, and then back up to Bristol. I thought, obviously, with Basingstoke coming back, will he take one last dig at the National League? But he is back with Slough this year, and as we said briefly earlier, everyone has pretty much returned. A forward that joined late last year but really hit the ground running was Juha Lindgren.
Yeah, absolutely. You knew he was coming back.
So in the running, his goals were really important.
Absolutely, yeah. And especially people like Juha, but I think you can say that for every player that put on a Jets jersey last year. The amount of work that they all put in was absolutely astonishing. And, let's say fingers crossed again for the next, 8-9 months.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a massive year at Slough as well, because you've got the 40th anniversary this season of the club. So it really is a massive year. And I know that I've not seen them yet, but I can imagine there's going to be a really sweet 40th anniversary jersey that gets designed. The club have really...
I may have had a sneak peek, but...
The club have really kindly offered to do me one. So
I love it, yeah.
I'm going to have one that's got 0 pucks given on the back, so... On the 40th anniversary night, I will be in Slough to collect that jersey.
Excellent. No, I'll make sure I'm there as well.
Well, I just think that's going to be a big occasion. And I mean, we were talking with Henry Stalins a couple of weeks ago. That episode just came out this week. The sport is growing. The sport is growing massively, but we need it to continue to grow.
Yeah.
But when you consider a club like Slough, 40 years. That it's been going. That's absolutely astonishing. I think Streatham's even longer. I think it might be coming up to 60 years for Streatham.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I saw something. Was it on England Ice Hockey Facebook the other day? They put up some programs from way back in the day. And
they were in black and white. It was old school.
Yeah. It's incredible. But 40 years it's an astonishing achievement for any club in this form of the sport, what is still considered a minority, but growing sport, you're just going to have the people behind it to just keep pushing forward and improving all the time, be it from, the players to the off-ice officials, the volunteers, all of it. You've got to have that drive there to keep pushing. And I know, especially in this league, but particularly at Slough, they have got that nailed down.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you've got the challenge games to kick you off.
Yes.
There's no easy starts to the year for you guys. You go.
No. And I don't think Smiths would want it any other way, to be honest. Just dive straight in at the deep end.
I think, did you do exactly the same last year, I believe, wasn't you?
And Bristol as well. Yeah, we had
Bristol.
Yeah, we had 2 weekends last year. We actually beat Bristol away. And then, not so much luck in the return leg, but perhaps a bit of tired legs on that one.
Yeah,
but yeah, Streatham are friendly foes, shall we say?
I think that that kind of rivalry amongst the top three is alive and well between Streatham.
Oh, absolutely.
And but even with the tribalism of ice hockey fans, it still never feels at any point like it's like football. It never feels that it would boil over into the inappropriate or anything like that. It's just a real friendly rivalry. No,
definitely not. I would have no doubt saying there's probably been a couple of moments over the years, but definitely not. You know, I think back to the old Bracknell Slough Jets days in what is now the National League, and some of that got a bit feisty from time to time. We're talking maybe, 2013, 2014, something like that. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, you leave it on the ice for those to deal with. You don't take the matter into your own hands.
Oh, absolutely. At no point do you do that.
No.
And once you've got the challenge games out of the way, you're looking into the main part of the season, and you are starting away from home for September.
Yeah.
And with, again, 2 incredibly hard games. You're starting down at Solent and then visiting Streatham again. So you two are going to get very familiar across this season.
It's going to be a fun little sort of pre-Christmas at least. I'm just having a quick browse through the fixture now. There's a lot going on there. A lot I'd be looking forward to.
Well, there's just having the 8 teams in the league is a bit of a shame, because we do at least a little bit of playoff jeopardy and having those more games. I actually thought that being to 8 teams, this would have been the perfect opportunity to actually bring back to the table the way the playoff structure was going to be last year, and have top 6 qualify and then go into 2 groups of 3.
Yeah, I feel like that playoff format has ruffled a couple of feathers. Me personally, I'm all for it. More games, more entertainment, and there is more risk involved, but at the end of the day, you've got to step up and claim it. But yeah, with all 8 teams looking like they're going to qualify again this year, I mean, we'll see. And it's going to be more about the placements than anything else at the end of the day, isn't it?
It will. I know David from Cardiff Fire had that, plan as well, because I said, if you guys do exactly what you did last year and finish 8th, one, that is bottom of the table, which is not going to please Shep, but then you're straight away looking at Slough or Streatham or Chelmsford.
Yeah. Really, for those teams, and no disrespect, but basically not Slough, not Streatham, not Chelmsford, essentially, looking at the numbers, you want to be getting somewhere about that 4th, 5th, maybe 6th place. And then you are giving yourself a real fighting chance in the playoffs. Because if you get that lucky result in the quarterfinals, you're off to Sheffield for the weekend.
Oh, not quite.
Well, not quite, but no.
But semi before that.
Keep forgetting it's 2 finals now.
Yeah, so it's it will be 2-leg quarterfinals, 2-leg semis.
2-leg semis, yeah.
And then up to Sheffield on the weekend. I'm going to miss. So.
Oh no, I'm already booked for Sheffield.
Falling on the same weekend as my golf weekends, which the last couple of years has always fell the weekend after. So I have the playoff weekend, which is exhausting, and then I have a golf weekend after, which
is also exhausting.
Yeah, unfortunately this year they're falling on the same day, same weekend. So I will be missing the Steel City Showdown, but I have committed to be going to the women's playoff finals at the end of May.
Excellent. Yeah, no, they had a terrific series after us as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean that's a fantastic weekend because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and one of the games they have there, I think it's on the Sunday, where they have a relegation playoff. The team that finished top of Division 1 and bottom of the Elite League.
It's a bit like you see in Germany in the Bundesliga, where you get bottom of the Bundesliga takes on second. Yeah, wow.
It's such a good game. And Henry Salins and I were talking about that could be a possibility if they're going to bring in some kind of pyramid with promotion and relegation, that you could be looking at the bottom team placing the top team from the league below in a playoff.
Yeah. I know that's one thing that the fans do want, is some sort of promotion relegation. I know it's tricky, especially when it comes to it's mainly down to finances, isn't it? And I totally get that. But at the end of the day, it's the same for the clubs, in football. They strive for promotion. If they get promoted, but they can't get the job done, they do get relegated again. It's part of sport, is that teams have to be able to thrive and occasionally have that, that little dip in there. It's all part of it.
Yeah. How do you think now that Slough's players will react to having the target on their back rather than chasing?
I think they'll love it. I think they'll thrive off of it, to be brutally honest. And I was thinking about this the other day when you asked me to come on for this podcast, and I said to myself, like, Smits won't take anything. He won't take any slacking. He is going to push them to do even better this time round. I have no doubt about that. He's not going to let any player take their gas off the pedal.
We know what you meant. But looking at March for the fixtures, and this is of the assumption that, personally for me, I think it's Slough, Streatham and Chelmsford are the top three. I don't know in which order.
It could be in any of them, to be honest. Literally could.
Below that, anything goes. But looking at Slough's March, you face Swindon twice, home and away. Chelmsford, home and away, including the final game of the season in Chelmsford, and away at Streatham as well. There's a very, very large possibility that everything could be on that last game of the season.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so much going on there. Look at, 3 and 4 realistically could literally go either way. That's incredible. I hadn't actually really processed that until you mentioned it just now. Like, okay, we're playing Chelmsford twice. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's the last game of the season.
Yeah. When they came out amongst Chelmsford fans, it was like straight away, everyone was like, look at the last game of the season. Wow.
Well, for your sellouts, that could be a double or a triple sellout.
Absolutely, yeah. I had tried to speak to the club through a few different channels about possibly doing some streaming this season because every game sells out. Obviously, the club's gained quite a lot of digital popularity through their link up with the Buckley's podcast.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to be a great way to try and help the sport grow. You can only get 1,000 people in that rink or whatever the legal limit of it is. But more people are going to want to see it, especially if it comes towards the end of the season and it's tight at the top. And
definitely. I mean, I'd say that March, all clubs have got to try and find a way of at least getting those games streamed.
Yeah.
Because that's a mini tournament within the league itself, honestly. Yeah. March Madness, we could call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proper round robin. And obviously, in February, you've also got to play Streatham at home. And then you've got the possibility that you could well be in the cup final as well. So it's not like having a rest before you get into that March Madness. But the way it's all laid out, obviously, as we said, disappointing to just have the 8 teams. But the way the fixtures have fallen is actually going to create a very, very exciting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, as far as the 8 teams are concerned, let's be hopeful we're going back to at least 9 next year with Oxford. Fingers crossed they could just have a year out and they can return. As for who fills the 10th spot, could we see someone from Division 2 maybe want to actually take a step up?
Well, I think we were due to see Peterborough this year, and I just think there was a couple of issues that sort of stopped it from happening. I've said on pretty much every episode of this build-up, the Haringey Huskies roster is... Get them up. Real roster for NHL 2. But the thing is, it's an unreal roster for NHL 2 because the players they've got, Josh Ely-Newman, Ruskin Springer-Hughes, James Pentecost, Johan Persson, the guys they've added, it's because they only play each other once. It's only a 4, 12 to 11, so it's like a 22-game season. Yeah.
And for a lot of those players, that's half a season for them. Yeah. No disrespect, but it is.
Yeah, and because they've got busy lives now, they've got families, they've got big jobs and stuff. So it's the same was said about if Streatham go up to the National League because they won 4 years on the trot or whatever, they'd lose all those players because they don't want to commit to the National League schedule because
they would have to start again. They just would.
I mean, I could see in a few years perhaps the National League restructuring slightly to being conferenced, perhaps Chelmsford, Slough, maybe even Streatham joining it. And when you're only playing teams in the south, it's obviously not that much.
Yeah.
And then use the idea like the Steel City Showdown for the playoffs. So, if you have the North Division and the South Division, first from South, plays eighth from North, or vice versa, and that's the way you'd mix it up. But obviously, that's all for a.
It's all for another thought, isn't it? Really.
But into NIHL too. Obviously, we just talked about there the roster for the Huskies is unreal. Guildford Phoenix are always up there. Peterborough Phantoms are an incredibly strong side in that league.
They were great fun to watch at Sheffield. They really were.
Both games were terrific.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, I did comment earlier with Dave from Cardiff. The Sunday morning, the North 2, South 2 national playoff final, that was one of the best games of hockey I've ever seen.
100%. 100%.
Couldn't take my eyes off it. It was every time I turned around and talked to someone, I missed a goal.
I'm just a bit upset I got there a bit late.
Oh, no, I think I was in that building on the Saturday. I got there at 8 in the morning, having left here at just before 5, and I didn't get back to my hotel room until about 2:30. It was.
I thought I had it getting back about 1.
It was a long, long day. And then when I got back at 2:30, I was like, right, I need to get some sleep. I was like, but I've got all this footage of the Slough Jets on the ice.
Yeah, and I'm hyped up, and I'm...
Yeah, I just want to get it edited and get it out, so I stayed up editing it all and getting it out. I mean, honestly, we spoke about it right at the beginning, but that will live really long in my memory, being on the ice with the guys there. And there's a particular moment which you can see in the video where Alex Cole spots me that I'm on the ice.
Yeah, I love that moment.
There's some cracking lads in that Slough team. I had a lovely picture with Sebby Moore and Jack Goodchild before the game, and then after the game with their medals as well. I get accused of being a closet Red Hawk or any other league. I'm a Chelmsford fan. Everyone knows I'm a Chelmsford fan.
We know that. We know that.
Everybody, I'm not tribal. I just love the sport. I love the way that every other club works. It's all about working together for the greater good.
Absolutely. We've got to work together.
But, Slough, just a fantastic team, and I wish them all the best for this year, and the Spitfires as well. I think they're going to have a really, really hard season because that's a tough league.
But I think they'll be up to the challenge. I really do. Yeah. And same with the Warriors as well. They're going to have, they're going to have to be up to the task as well. Yeah,
I mean, the thing with the Warriors, Chelmsford Warriors, they've got, Eden Rolfe, who's on a two-way with the Chieftains. Eden's a terrific player. Tends to play further forward for Chieftains, plays in D for the Warriors. But the one signing I think that Chelmsford made that I didn't have any inkling that it was going to happen. It was, I said to Jordan Lauday at Sheffield, I really want to sign Caleb Sheehan.
Yeah.
And he's been signed.
Talent.
It's been signed on a two-way with the Warriors and with the Chieftains. And I remember I'd seen him 4 or 5 times maybe last year, maybe a little bit more. And I was at Milton Keynes commentating on Milton Keynes Chelmsford. And me and Cliff were stood in the gantry, and he looked, he was like, "Who is that fucking kid?" And he didn't recognise that it was Caleb, because he was just unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
no.
Yeah, so he'll
future that one.
Yeah, he'll certainly have his hands busy with the Warriors because, like we said, that division is absolutely stacked. We didn't even mention the Rising Stars. They've got a great roster down there. So I think that division is going to be exciting, but the Britain division's certainly going to be exciting. And then, as we've said with a couple of other people, it's really nice that with this playoff structure, we're going to get to see a little bit of the teams from up north as well, because I think that was an eye-opener for a lot of Southern fans.
Oh, it was, yeah.
That's how
and
good
a lot for those in the north as well, looking down.
Yeah, absolutely both ways.
Yeah. I mean, all the fans that were there that weekend in Sheffield, you just got on with everyone.
Yeah,
there wasn't a bad soul in that building.
No, so the Billingham fans, they had these vodka-soaked jelly babies that made their way round. I'd met up there with Jono Langstaff and Carol Hunter, who do the Stars Cast, the Billingham Stars podcast. So I'd met up with them there on the Saturday, and they were not there in a professional capacity, shall we say. They were there in a very much having fun category. So that was a fantastic weekend for them.
And so they should.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're there in a professional capacity, you have to wait a little bit later to have a little bit of fun.
Yep. Well, Ali Pally, I know how that was.
Yeah, I don't actually. Obviously, being behind the mic constantly, I never actually got a chance to enjoy any downtime at Ali Pally. It was very constant.
Yeah, literally. I mean, trying to pop outside just for a quick, just to get some fresh air. Yeah. It's nigh on impossible. It's just go, go, go. But it's an experience.
If anyone wasn't there, if you weren't there at Ali Pally for the Great Southern Finals, there is on YouTube. England Ice Hockey have got highlights package condensed into about 10 minutes, and then they've got the full games. If you have the chance, do go and watch the full game, the Britain Division Semi-Final 2 between Slough Jets and Chelmsford Chieftains.
What a match.
It was an incredible match, but there is a bit of a delay at the end of period 1 when there's
I forgot about this.
and yours truly here, Alistair Gammond, led the entirety of Alexandra Palace in the YMCA.
Yep.
Which was horrific.
Just absolutely need that. It just took some of the stress away for a while and just let everyone. But that was incredible. I remember that.
I still actually use a commentary clip in the intro for the podcast because it was the most bonkers game. I think Slough went up on the shorthand, then Chelmsford equalised on the power play, and then Slough went up on the power play. And then
back and forth.
Chelmsford scored 3 goals in 60 seconds, and it was it was all over the place. It was you could tell in my voice that I was getting ever so slightly excited.
But that was tough for me. Got to keep my happy boy attitude going. Oh wait, Chelmsford have scored again. Oh.
Thank you so much for giving up some of your time to talk about the season upcoming with Slough Jets.
No worries at all, my friend. Nice to talk to you again.
And I will, obviously, we keep up to date with each other fairly regularly, but I will definitely see you in Slough this year for the 40th anniversary game.
100%, mate. Keep in touch.
Nice one. Cheers, pal.
Take care.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Life is unpredictable, but how you prepare for the unexpected shouldn't be. Take ownership of your life planning with Policy Genius to help your loved ones have a financial safety net in case something happens to you. Whether to cover debts and routine expenses or even invest the money and earn interest over time. With Policy Genius, finding and buying life insurance is simple. You can compare quotes from top insurers and could find coverage that fits your needs and your budget. Plus, they offer life insurance policies starting at just $276 a year for $1 million in coverage. It's an easy way to feel good about and plan for the future. No wonder Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. Don't wait for life to make other plans. Protect your family today. Head to PolicyGenius.com to compare top-rated life insurance policies, get your lowest quote, and make a smart move in under 10 minutes. That's PolicyGenius.com.